Still sitting here. What's happened to the B sample? Where is it?
Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? It's not Russell, but again, you already know that, and that's why you've tuned in. The voice of hardcore boxing, the hardcore's hardcore, the interim Porky for the week. I'm Porky's Corner interim Porky for the week. I'm probably heavier on him at the minute. Okay, so wishing Russell all the best. Hope he's enjoying the videos. I'm going to do a quick one today. Where do I start? So much content to talk about. Devin Haney leaving DAZN. Another kick in the teeth for Matchroom. Matchroom put a lot of time into him. They built him. You know, at one stage Eddie was making a comparison with Devin Haney and Floyd Mayweather at that stage of their career. And he basically said that Haney was the next American superstar. He was the next Floyd Mayweather. Personally, I disagree with that. He's way off it. Now signed with Top Rank and Lou DiBella, which is not really a shock because where else was he going to go to get a world title fight? You know, Kambosos has all the marbles at that weight. What was he going to do? You know, were DAZN going to keep feeding him the likes of the Jorge Linares of the world? You know, Jorge Linares is like a 25-year-old Lada that hadn't been serviced with about 990,000 miles on it. So that wasn't going to help him in his career moving forward. And I actually struggled in that fight. So he had no real option to go to. And did Top Rank back him into a corner? Well, where else was he going to go? You know, George Kambosos has all the belts. Well, a half a WBC belt, you know, the franchise belt, I don't particularly rate that belt at all. It's not the WBC title. And Devin Haney got his belt via email, so don't rate him as a champion either. So I rate George Kambosos. I think he's a brilliant fighter. I thought he struggled against Lee Selby in England. I thought Lee really pushed him. I think Lee's given him a better fight than anybody has in his career. I think, you know, if he had pushed a bit earlier, he could have got a decision against Kambosos. It was a great performance from Lee. And I just couldn't believe the performance he did against Teofimo Lopez, you know, winning those titles. But going back to the Haney George Kambosos thing, he signed a multi-fight deal now. So a multi-fight deal to me works out probably around 4 fights. So it'll be a rematch clause that will be in Australia if Kambosos loses. So he'll get an immediate rematch in his home country in Australia, and possibly fight options as well. So it's a good deal. He's getting 4 fights there. He's getting a guaranteed rematch. You know, again, what else is he going to do at that weight? You know, who else is there for him to make the money? Yes, it is a big division with big names. You know, you've got Loma, you've got Lopez, you've got Garcia, you've got Tank, who's went up. So he was stuck kind of, where was he going to go? Was he going to stay in the zone and fight C-level guys? No. If it wasn't a good deal, I don't think Bill Haney would have took it. So I think it's an opportunity for him to be undisputed. Why wouldn't he take that deal? You know, it's not on the zone that there wasn't going to be those opportunities for him. And you go back to a program we done, probably a year ago. It's called Frozen Out. And we spoke about all this in detail. About, you know, Hyman, Bob, and basically not wanting to work with Eddie in America. So they've kind of frozen him out there, which is correct. He was the one that fired the shot and said that he was going to destroy their pay-per-view market before he even set up a business relationship with them. So it wasn't really a good move. Now he's went and set up his own pay-per-view platform in DAZN in America. So it just shows you the power play that's going on in boxing at the minute. And really you can't fault Devin Haney for doing it. I think Eddie will be sick. He said that, yeah, he was a loyal kid and he's not going to stand in his way, and he didn't want them having that rematch clause in Australia. They wouldn't have did that, and that's why he let him go with it. So yeah, it's interesting. There's Lomachenko, there's Lopez. You know, it's a big division. There's a lot of big fights, and you just go back and we look and we say undisputed. Well, undisputed, the four belt era champion. Many of these fights has Eddie been involved in. He's been involved in none. So is Eddie the problem? Is the American promoters the problem? Well, he fired that first shot, and they've joined rank, and it kind of squeezes Eddie out of America that wee bit more. So it's a multi-fight deal. It's going to work out well for him, and it's funny how Lou DiBella's just come out of nowhere again. He's like the Freddy Krueger of boxing. He just keeps coming and coming and coming, and he had Regis Prograis for a while there, and now he's hit the jackpot with George Kambosos. You know, at one stage he wasn't gonna work in boxing again because of the whole Deontay Wilder thing with Matchroom. So yeah, it's good to see Lou DiBella back managing and being involved in promotion again. Always rated him as a fantastic manager and promoter and boxing person. As shrewd as they come, as you've seen with getting the bait out and getting Devin Haney away from DAZN in America. It's a massive hit for DAZN in America. You know, their numbers. We don't know their numbers in America. We don't know their numbers anywhere, as Frank Warren said, that what's your viewership? So that's another hit in America for Eddie. And it goes to now that the whole thing where they're looking, and I see Eddie trying to set up something now in Australia that I've spoken about. Australian boxing is pretty big at the minute. You know, we've got Tim Tszyu coming through there, and now he's kind of promoting. He's got Anthony Bridges has won a world title. He's got Dempsey McKean, the heavyweight. So you look at him, you look at down the line, he's going to try and set up something in Sky, that the female fighter he signed. So he's trying to set up something there in Australia, and it's a big. You look at the numbers Joseph Parker does over that side of the world. It's massive. So you can see him trying to set up power plays away from America, and I noticed this week they're talking now. You know, the Mirror newspaper has put out that Joshua and Alexander Usyk has signed the fight over there in Saudi or Dubai or wherever it is. So that's another play he's going to try and do over there. It's kind of like the on-top market of boxing. I know Top Rank MTK have been doing some stuff, Probellum over there, and they've set up some boxing shows, but it's kind of like an on-top market, and it's got a lot of wealth. So where did the Mirror get their information from? What's the source? You know, they've got a date and a venue and a time, but nobody else seems to know about this. You know, this is a kind of like a Gareth A. Davis type scoop with no information. My sources. I'm just sick of hearing that. If you don't have the source, you don't release the content. You know, it's not proper journalism. So they've been talking about it today on TalkSport, and they were saying like it's really fundamentally wrong that they go over there with the human rights, you know, issues over there, which is true, but it didn't stop them the last time when they went over there, and Anthony Joshua got £50 million as a challenger. So there's a lot of wealth over there, so they'll go wherever the money is, and they talk about, you know, the human rights, and it was fundamentally wrong. Well, you go back to the Rumble in the Jungle and like Ali and Foreman, there was a lot of human rights issues over there at the time. So nothing I've ever said about that. So as far as money's concerned and wealth and whatever, that won't matter come the time of the fight being released. I personally, I don't know. I think the power base in America for Matchroom isn't as strong, and they'll just say, right, we'll go over to and try and hurt the American, economy, the boxing economy of gambling in Vegas. I think he'll take it over there just to stick one up, kind of that American boxing fraternity over there. Will it happen? I don't know. I don't think it will be in Britain. I think it'll just be where the money is and where offers the biggest site fee for that fight. They're talking probably June, July. We don't know. We can't talk because I don't have the source. I don't have the information. I don't have the whispers that Gareth A. Davis and all these other journalists has. So I'm not going to even suggest when it is or what happens. But I do know that I can see Joshua losing pretty convincingly this time. And I think the whole world will be behind Alexander Usyk. So he'll be one of the biggest heavyweight fights of all time with what's going on at the world at the minute. But yeah, I can see that happening, and I think the landscape in boxing is changing. I think UK wise, we have got kind of Sky trying to get into position, a young stable trying to build up, kind of getting them past prospect, phase. That's going to be 2 years. I think BT just seem to survive and keep moving on to the next card. They're looking at big fight card with Tyson Fury. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And we've got DAZN, who's just trying to, they're just trying to recycle. They're just trying to keep more in-house at the minute because, Eddie's got this budget now that everything's taken out of it, where he had a bottomless pit at Sky. But go back to that, I just checked today on BoxRec, and it's kind of worrying that you go on BoxRec and the fight is, less than 4 weeks away, and with no undercard at all. Only Isaac Lowe, surprise, surprise, against a to be arranged TBA. And nothing else has been, this is 4 weeks away, so there has been no platform released yet, on BT to buy this fight. Not to my knowledge. I stand corrected. So what's going on? I seen that whole disaster last week of what could I say? That the disaster, not for fans, not for people listening and watching in, that disastrous interview from Jeffrey Benz was absolutely, if this is the type of people that is invasion Dillian White in this fight, it baffles me. At one stage, Dillian White hadn't fought for 2 years, serving a drug ban, fighting on non-televised shows, to the point now where he's getting the largest purse as a challenger in boxing history. Massive. Well, apart from Joshua, he's part of the largest purse bid in heavyweight history, and he's getting 6 million, and it's still not good enough. 2 years ago he was knocked out by Povetkin, put in the orbit, as Russell would say, and everything just seems to be so negative. Firstly, they signed that contract. If they signed that contract at the last minute, what preparation did they do? There's all this talk about tickets. They signed the contract. What's the problem? Why would you sign a contract and expect and negotiate afterwards? You've signed a legal binding, a law binding agreement. Is it good publicity that he is not talking? Is he bringing publicity to the fight and not talking? He is a bit, but he's not trying to sell the fight at all. Does he have to sell X amounts of tweets or interviews or whatever, or does he just have to go to the press conference, before the fight? Does that class is promoting the fight? They didn't want a poster on for a fight poster. They said it depicted him in the wrong. I just don't get it. I just find it so negative, and the whole thing about the tickets. Well, they signed the contract. They signed that contract. The escrow thing was, he didn't even know that that party had to set up the escrow account, which is absolutely baffling. You would want a really good boxing manager, somebody who was experienced in fight management, and he's kind of an arbitration lawyer, so does he really know what the boxing landscape is? It doesn't seem it. I think Frank was at his savage best. He was like a Rottweiler in that fight. He was like an absolute Rottweiler. I've listened to it 3 times, and I can't stop laughing at it. It's either cringe or comedy, and it's either good for boxing or bad for boxing. It's got a lot of hits, it's got a lot of viewership, and it's got people talking about the fight for the wrong reasons. Personally, I don't think there's too much problems. Like Eddie came out last week, he said that there's a few wee issues that we have to iron out in the fight. Hopefully the fight happens. Hopefully. Get your dictionaries out and look up hopefully and see what it says. That's what he said. So that's not great rhetoric getting into this fight. It's not great language structure. Hopefully. They've signed a contract. Everyone could end up in court if this fight doesn't happen. Will anybody want to work with Dillian Whyte again down the line? Will Dillian Whyte even work with DAZN? Will he go to Sky? Ben Shalon's been chirping in and chipping in, and it just seems an absolute... What's it got to do with him? It just seems an absolute mess. Looking at the WBC ratings, I'm looking at it. Well, who else is there? The WBC ratings, it's the top 15 of the WBC ratings can fight for a world title. If the mandatory pulls out, they can go down the next available. So you've got Yoka, Joseph Parker, who he trains with. That will not happen. Andy Ruiz, who does he even train anymore? Caballel, I think Caballel could be the most likely. Michael Hunter's coming off a draw against Jeremy Forrest. Deontay Wilder, can't see that happening. Helenius and Martin Bokole. And Makhmudov. And Otto Wallin. Will he come in? Not after that terrible performance against Slobodowski. So I look out and I see Joe Joyce very close. He hasn't had a fight. 2 weeks ago they were talking about announcing a fight for him, and it hasn't been announced yet. So I don't know, are they waiting the last minute? I think we do not want to build a Joe Joyce Tyson Fury fight. I've already stated that I think it will be Joyce. So Caballel and Joe Joyce. Caballel will be cheap, and Joe Joyce is with Queensbury and Frank Warren. So that would be the easiest fights to make there at Wembley. Dillian Whyte. It's really bad for boxing fans, because it's basically saying the boxing fans don't pay for this pay-per-view. It's not giving people a choice to buy this yet and actually commit to buying this product and getting behind it, which is really bad for boxing. It sets boxing in a bad tone. It's like, just because his promoter didn't want to win the purse bids for him because he didn't value the revenue coming back, or was it because he wanted the to sign the Kalano deal, the 2-fight deal for him. So I don't know. It looks bad. If you don't get the purse bid, you go and honour your contractual agreements, and I think it's really, really bad. It's where is Dillian White going to get this money again from? When Usyk flogs Joshua again, his value's going to come down, and that the money isn't really going to be in that fight the way it was. It's probably a year and a half down the line, depending. It's going to be 6 to 8 months after, maybe a year after the Joshua Usyk fight, and we know Joshua's only fighting like once a year. So will the money be there for that? I don't know. What's Eddie promised him? I don't know. But why would you not want to promote this fight? Why would you not want to come out and do your product and do your brand, your name brand value, the world of good to sell? Even if you do go into that fight and get smashed, you've still enhanced your productivity and getting fights and being marketable. You could get another big fight down the line and you would get paid well for it, because you've got that, you've created more of that name brand value. And I don't think he's doing himself any favours. I haven't a clue why on earth he's listening to these people and how he's being advised. It's baffling. I can't even try and understand it, because it's absolutely baffling. But that's the boxing landscape at the minute. It's networks and networks, and it's promoters and promoters, and it's really doing the fans. It's not good for the sport going forward. It's really disappointing. The very fact that there's not even an undercard, as I said, there's not even a fight poster. They done a documentary the other night, about the Deontay Wilder trilogy. There's nothing like a kind of documentaries on training camps, and there's no access, there's no nothing. It's really bad. And how will it end up? It'll end up in court. And we know Frank Warren's reputation in court battles, so it's a disaster. It's really bad. Do I think Frank knows that he'll pull out? If he pulls out, he will have to have a plan B, and I think Joe Joyce will be waiting there in the wings. As I say, there's been no opponent announced yet for him. It's really interesting. Could Caballel step in? We don't know. Going forward. Hopefully the fight does happen, because it's a good fight. It's probably the biggest British boxing fight since Frank Bruno and Lennox Lewis way back in the 90s. It was a brilliant fight. I thought Frank was winning that fight against Lewis, and just gassed out, and Lewis's class just took over in the end. But it's going to be the biggest heavyweight fight since that, and that was at Cardiff, and it's dwarfing that fight through, ticket sales and this and that, and I think it would be really disappointing that fight doesn't happen. It will be bad. It'll be a slap in the face for British boxing. But we have had slaps in the face for British boxing, like week on week, month on month, year on year now, with the Board of Control, with judging, refereeing. It's just, matchmaking, what's being done about it, there's being nothing done about it. We're kind of conditioned to it now. So yeah, it's really disappointing. We don't know what's going to happen going forward. Well, we kind of do, and we don't. I've said my opinion. It's only my opinion. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we've got less than a month here, and we need to know what's happening. Like Addy said the other week, we need to know about Usyk. Really, we need to know what's going on with this fight sooner or later, because it could be a disaster in court for kind of the people who have instigated this, and hopefully it doesn't happen, and hopefully it's a good card. You could have likes of Anthony Yard on it, likes of Dennis McCann on it, likes of David Adelaide on it. It could be a really, really good card and could be a brilliant night for British boxing. Kind of like the way that Vladimir and Joshua was. It was a marvellous fight. It was a great night for British boxing. And we've kind of went backwards from it. So that's all I'm going to talk on tonight. I've seen a really good documentary on BT Sport. Check it out if you've got BT. It is the Moss Side M14 documentary, the Phil Martin story. Absolutely a marvellous documentary about Manchester boxing in the 90s. Fantastic story on Phil Martin and how he developed that Moss Side Boxing Club in Manchester M14. Really tough, deprivated area, working class area that didn't have a boxing club. And just go and watch that doc. It was a fantastic documentary. It was really well put together. The footage in it, the old footage in it from the amateur days, and Phil Martin himself and Joe was on talking in it. So go and give that a look. It's on BT Sport. Hopefully it'll get some your time in, and hopefully you've got a bit of your porky fix. So okay, okie dokie, that's me. Like and subscribe. Keep on trucking. Keep on supporting boxing. And don't have nightmares. Take care.